How are you today? How are we doing? I don't know why I keep doing that. And that's what I keep trying to do. Okay, again, hopefully nobody takes offense because all I do is resonate love. Oh, how you say? Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the correspondence between bodybuilding and spirituality. The bodybuilding path of mass muscle gains and the spiritual journey and path to peace and freedom and love and openness and giving and peace and all that fun gooey stuff, right? So yes, the correspondence and how I came across it. And I'm curious if, like, I think about it, did I come across spirituality first or bodybuilding first? Or did it happen at the same time? Because it was like when I started bodybuilding, I converted from football training and powerlifter training more into bodybuilder style training, which is a completely different form of training if you've ever done them. Football training is very athletic, explosive, power cleans and snatches and jerks and everything's explosive off the floor. And then powerlifting was the same way. It's just like explosive movements, really heavy, really fast, really hard. All you're doing is focusing on like how heavy you can lift. And then with football, it was all how explosive you can be with resistance, right? Where bodybuilding, very different. Bodybuilding is slow, controlled eccentrics, explosive out of the hole, but controlled. Like the goal with bodybuilding is not just moving weight with like you're a weightlifter, you're not just moving weights. The goal with bodybuilding is to activate the muscle through a full range of motion under load. So like with a bicep curl, I'm not worried about how much weight I'm lifting. I'm worried about the activation through the range of motion into a full peak contraction under a controlled eccentric load back down into a fully stretched position before I contract again. And I'm trying to do that until that muscle is fatigued to failure. Where like with powerlifting, it's like, all right, how much weight can I fucking lift? And that's all that matters. So it's a very different approach. Bodybuilding requires a lot more internal awareness and a lot more presence and a lot less ego. So I think like maybe just that natural process of me transitioning from more egocentric type athletic training and powerlifting training to more of like an ego-less, not completely ego-less, but like a little bit less ego involved in bodybuilder hypertrophy style training. So now that I think about it, as I'm thinking about it, I feel like it kind of started around that same time because that was also when I started meditating and trying to like decompress and lower stress and just change my perspective about life and try to figure out who I am in this world and how I play into it. So maybe the slow down form of training allowed my mind to calm a little bit and to get into like somewhat of a safer place and allow me to start actually thinking about who I am and what I'm doing. But also this is around the same time where I was in like this weird transition from leaving like my mind, my ego identified mind as the athlete, as the football playing Nick that was going to go to the NFL and play in the NFL. And like that was literally plan A, plan B, plan C. There was no other plan. Nobody ever told me to think about a secondary plan, which part of me, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why didn't anybody like, hey, maybe you should think about backup? Nope. But like now I look back, I'm like, I'm glad that nobody fucking had questioned my dreams or my desires. It was like, I lived that shit as far as I possibly could until it got to the point where I realized like, it's just not the best decision to keep going, right? And so I was in this weird like loss of an identity phase for a while, for a few years after high school when I stopped playing football, because I was kind of like, well, who am I now? Because I was so driven and so disciplined and so structured, even when I was a kid playing football from like the age of like maybe 11 until I was like 16, 17 years old. I was literally, it was football. I was training for football in the off season, speed and agility training, powerlifting training, weightlifting, fucking everything you can think of, eating and drinking and no partying, no fucking around, like just fucking being it. I say like my senior year, the end of junior year, I started getting a little bit into partying. But hey, you gotta live a little bit, but whatever. But I mean, I was in it, dude. That was life. Well, that fucking stopped. And it was like, I feel like that was like one of my first like ego deaths. And it was like this moment where I was just like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Who am I now? Like, I guess I'll just keep working out because it's really all I know how to do, right? So so I just kept lifting. I was still kind of like finding myself, partying more, drinking more, fucking doing dumb shit, but still training Monday through Friday, like still getting all my lifts in, didn't miss a damn lift, didn't miss any meals really, just kept fucking going. But I mean, also at that time, it was like my diet was very different. It was like more protein shakes and protein bars, and I was just trying to get a bunch of protein in and hit this, whatever. I wasn't super strict with macros and all as much as I am now, obviously. But I was in that weird phase. So it was like, I think being in that phase, I was kind of like searching. And I think that like when I got into bodybuilding and then got more into like meditation and reading about spirituality, the first real spiritual book I read was Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. And if any of you have ever read it, it is an absolutely beautiful fucking read, and it will really open your perspective and help you. Just like, for me, what it did is it showed me that I can have my own intimate relationship with the creator. I can have my own intimate relationship with God. I can have my own intimate relationship with the universe. And that I really liked. So it wasn't like, I love Jesus. Don't get me wrong. I love Jesus Christ to death, but I don't want to talk to Jesus as like a middleman between my relationship with God. Like, that just seemed weird to me. It doesn't make sense. Also because like the way I viewed Jesus was different. Like, I didn't see Jesus as like he was my only path to God. I felt like Jesus was more of like, he was telling us like, yo, dude, like, you're God too, just like I'm God. Like, everything I can do, you can do too. Like, I'm no better than you are. You can do everything I've ever done. So at that time, it was like, all right, well, then I want to learn some of that shit. You know what I mean? And so that's where I kind of like went on my own spiritual path. So it was around the same time that I got into bodybuilding and meditation and reading about spirituality and expanding my consciousness and lowering stress and just trying to change myself as a person, mostly just getting into personal development. I used to have like anger issues, and that was kind of the thing I can think that really led me into meditation and spirituality as well, because I just felt like I would just freak out over like dumb shit that just like, because I was suppressing emotions. I didn't know at the time, but I was suppressing emotions. So then when I started meditating, it was like I started processing my emotions and things started coming up, and I started releasing a bunch of fucking anger and sadness and grief and low, like sad stuff, like shit that I was suppressing and not allowing myself to feel, because as a man, we're really not supposed to, right? Like, it wasn't at that time, at least really wasn't condoned to talk about your emotions or to talk about that you're struggling or to admit that you're going through hard times. Like, you just didn't do that. You just acted like everything was fine. And so we just suppress and act like everything's fine. And so we go through some traumatic experience and suppress and act like everything's fine and just keep working out harder and keep making more money and keep fucking more girls and just keep attaining like all these physical things, and it's going to make you feel happy. And it's just like, no, it doesn't. Like, none of that made me feel happy at all. If anything, it made me feel fucking worse, because I felt like I was just numbing out and distracting, and I was just getting more upset, and I was just getting more angry, and I could just feel myself being in this tense state all the fucking time. And that's where meditation came in, and it helped me to fucking process a ton. Like I've mentioned before, I cried every day for over a month when I first started meditating, crying about losing my mom at the age of 4, crying about like the fact that God took her and did all this shit, but just allowing myself to process that, because at 4 years old, I didn't process it. And so I allowed myself to process it at fucking 18, 19 years old, whatever it was. It was so freeing and gratifying, and fucking, it was like the weight of the world got taken off my fucking chest and arms, and it was just like I could breathe for the first time. And I literally was living on cloud 9 for months after that. So that was like I said, so that was at the same time I started bodybuilding. And so then I just started me down this personal development. I wanted to change my physique from an athlete, power lifter, which was kind of like, I was just big and bulky. I played linebacker. I was just like powerful and really strong and big, but I didn't have abs. I had some veins, but I wasn't like I didn't look like a bodybuilder. And I always wanted to look like a bodybuilder, to be honest with you. Like, I loved the look of bodybuilders when I was young, like fucking 10 years old. We would go to the grocery store with my parents, and my parents would go grocery shopping, and I would run to the magazine aisle and look at fucking Flex magazine, Muscular Development magazine, Health and Fitness magazine. I would just be like, all right, how do I look like these guys? How do I get fucking abs like that? How do I get traps like that? How do I get biceps like that? How do I get veins like that? How do I get lats? Like, I wanted all of it. And so when I fucking stopped powerlifting and athletic training for football, I was like, let's fucking get like a superhero. Like, let's look like a bodybuilder. So it was like around that same time, I'm doing like, all right, well, I'm going to change my physique. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to change my emotions. I'm going to change my perspective. I'm going to change the way I approach life. I'm going to change the way I approach myself, the way I view myself, the way I interact in the world. And then it kind of got to a point where I could realize I can shift my energy. I could change the way that like felt energetically. I really feel like all of this corresponded with bodybuilding, because it's like for me to tap in to the level of my present energetic state was very similar to how much I have to tap in with bodybuilding to see like, okay, well, how's my recovery right now? You know, we didn't have Whoop bands. We didn't have all that shit. Like we just feel like we just tap in, be like, all right, how am I feeling today? Do I feel good enough to train, or do I need to take an extra rest day? And it was the same with like my spiritual energy, where it was like, all right, well, how's my energy today? Do I feel vibrant and like high vibration, like I'm moving in a good place, where I feel heavy and drudged and like weighed down and negative? And it was just like, it definitely corresponded there. And there's so much discipline in both sides as well. Like in bodybuilding, obviously you have to be disciplined with your nutrition plan. You got to be disciplined with your training program, your cardio program, your sleep. You got to be disciplined and self-disciplined enough not to eat junk food. You got to be self-disciplined not to fucking skip cardio, skip training, or go out and drink alcohol and party and do dumb shit. And then spirituality is the same way. You got to be disciplined with your meditations, with your journaling, with your self-awareness, with your self-awareness of your energetic state and the way that you're entering in your situations and your relationships with your coworkers and with your spouse and with your family. Like, how am I interacting? Am I disciplined enough to stick to my morning routines that allow me to elevate my state, to keep me at the high vibration that I want to be in when I interact with my loved ones, with my family, with my employees, with my clients? It's the same way. And it's like self-discipline enough not to fucking go do dumb shit that lowers my vibration, like fucking masturbating all the fucking time, watching porn, or drinking alcohol, or doing fucking low vibrational drugs that fucking make you feel like shit, fucking just going out and doing hookup culture bullshit that lowers your vibration and makes you fucking weak, and like doing all kinds of dumb shit that makes you fucking low vibrational energy and negatively affects your spiritual path. Same with bodybuilding. You do low fucking bullshit activity, you're going to negatively affect your training, it'll negatively affect your muscle gain, negatively affect your fat burning. It's like it coincides. And I think it's just funny like how much correspondence there is between spirituality and bodybuilding, because there's so much that I feel like has led me on my bodybuilding journey and into my spiritual path. And it's funny now because I'm 36 years old. I've been in this bodybuilding game, like legit into bodybuilding now, and spirituality for nearly 15 years, and just over 15 years actually. And I'm at like the peak. It's funny because I'm at the peak of both of them. Like I'm at the peak for what I want for my physique and for my health, and the balance between my physique and my health and my mindset and all that stuff. I'm at the peak of what I've kind of always wanted to look like as a bodybuilder. And then in my spiritual journey, I am hitting fucking PRs at the level of consciousness and awareness that I'm tapping into right now that I didn't even know was possible when I first started. And it's kind of funny how like they're both relating in that way as well. Like the healthier I get, the healthier I get in my spiritual journey. The healthier I get in bodybuilding and the better I do in bodybuilding, the healthier I am in my spiritual journey. But it's also because I'm detached from just the physical aspects of the bodybuilding. Like I absolutely understand that the tools and the actions and the habits that align with the growth and progress that I get in bodybuilding are associated with my mental health, my emotional health, and my spiritual health. And so now it's like I do that not just to have abs and to be jacked and have veins and all those things. It's like I don't even really do it for that. I do it because it raises my like it puts me in a better vibrational state. It puts me in a better energetic state. And when my physical energetic state is better, my spiritual practices are better. My meditations are way better. The love and presence that I interact with my loved ones, and my work and my contribution to my community is at its peak. It's at its highest. So it's like they both have to be at their peak. And I think that might also be another reason why like I'm not really in a big rush to get back on stage and compete, because I'm living the life I kind of always wanted to live. I have like the perfect balance between the two. I love my bodybuilding journey. There's not much more I want from it. I just want to keep doing it for as long as I possibly can. I'm in this state of longevity. I'm not willing to sacrifice my joints and my internal health to take a bunch of fucking steroids that I just don't need, push my body to limits that are beyond its capabilities. I am on TRT, I'll be honest, like I'm on hormone replacement therapy of testosterone, but it's one gram per pound of body weight. It's like 165 grams. I weigh like 175, 180, but I take 165 milligrams of test, and it just like that works for me. It's just that balances me. And then it's like same with the spiritual stuff. It's like now I do want more there because I'm like what's happening is I'm tapping into knowing that there is more available. And so I think that's also like why I don't want to completely like I'm not willing to sacrifice my spirituality and my conscious awareness and the energy in which I live with every day for a trophy or for fucking bodybuilding fame or whatever. Like just it doesn't matter to me. It never really did. Like and that was one thing that like people ask me all the time about bodybuilding and stuff, and I was like, dude, just fall in love with the journey, dude. Like fall in love with the journey. Like I don't fucking care about winning the Olympia. I don't care about winning a show. I don't care about it, dude. I'm so grateful to go into the gym and do my favorite thing every day and to feel good. Like my joints feel better now at 36 than they did when I was in my 20s, 100%, because I've gotten more balanced with my training, my recovery, my mobility work. We have peptides now that help a shit ton with keeping inflammation down and keeping the internal body healthy. And so it's just not worth it for me to sacrifice any of my spiritual stuff for that anymore. So it's like if I compete, I compete and it'll be fun, but it's just like, do it for you. Like, don't do it for fucking fame. Don't do it to be popular. Don't do it for the judges. Like, if that's what you want to do, go do that, but understand that you're making a sacrifice in so many other ways of your life. And I would not do anything that sacrifices the long-term health of your life. But again, it's your own journey. We're all on our own journeys. So it's like, if you want to take that path, just realize that you're making a sacrifice in other ways that you may not know. And that's where it's just like, get a coach who's going to be upfront and honest with you about that. But yeah, it's just on the topic of the correspondence between bodybuilding, spirituality. It's like we're also in bodybuilding, like I said, there's less ego involved. And in spirituality, we're also completely eliminating, like you're literally trying to go through the process of ego death as often as you can. Because your ego is, we call it like ego mind identification, right? And so you're associated with a perspective of yourself from old conditioned patterns. And that old conditioned pattern may have served you to get to the point you're in right now, but ultimately true freedom is transcendence of attachments to old patterns of perspective so that you can truly open up and be free and think for yourself and be who you are and be who you want to be. Not be what you've been told to be by society or by your parents or by elders or by the culture or by anybody else. Now, if you want to stay in that path, but you also can become consciously aware and stay in that career that you're in because you love it regardless, like you fell into something naturally you're passionate about, great, but just still being in a conscious awareness of transcending the ego and knowing that like you're more than just that job. You're more than just the money you make. You're more than how you're identified by your family and loved ones. It's like you're more than that. Like you are infinite abundance. You are infinite love. But you can only truly tap into infinite abundance and infinite love when you transcend your ego and let go of judgments of yourself and judgments of others. And you can just wake up to the reality that like you're just here experiencing what it's like to be human. And you can experience it in any way that you want. So that's just a little fucking tidbit on what I feel like comes up for me when I think about the association between bodybuilding and spirituality. Obviously, the discipline that's involved, the mindfulness that's involved, the presence that's involved. Same with like with training, it's like you have to be so focused and in that set, in that rep. Every movement counts. It's not just every rep counts. It's every movement in the rep counts. And it's the same with like in spirituality, and we get into mindfulness and we're getting into meditation and getting in tune with the breath. It's not just that every breath counts, it's every breath out and even the pause and then the breath in and then the pause and the breath out. They're reps. Like there's a correspondence right there. with your reps in the gym and your reps with your breath, you know, and the breath becomes your gateway to internal presence and awareness and transcending the attachment to emotions and overactive thinking, because we're not our mind, we're not our thoughts, we are not our drama, we're not our trauma, we're not our emotional reaction to life outside of us. We are not the fear that we think we are that's holding us back from living a grand fucking beautiful life. You're not your fear. Your fear is not fucking real. Your fear is conditioned patterns of thinking based upon past conditioning. It's not real. But yes, your central nervous system will have a response to certain scenarios that seem repetitive to past events, and then your cortisol will spike, you'll go into fight or flight, and you will have an anxious response. But it's not real. It's just a habit. It's just a poor pattern of habits that consistently go over and over because you're emotionally and mentally attached to the old perspective. When you sit in meditation, when you use psychedelics in meditation with breath work, and you face your fears and you face your traumas, you transcend that shit. You open your heart and you step into fucking bliss. You step into fearlessness, like genuine fear is fucking gone. You don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of you. You don't give a fuck what's going on outside of you. You realize that fucking everything outside of you is trying to tell you who you are, when really there's an internal guidance system that is telling you who the fuck you really are. And that's a direct source to God. That's your direct source to the infinite. That's your direct source to the universe and to your higher self. That is the one that is guiding you and telling you who you really are, because who you really are is just love, light, and bliss, and fun, and laughter, and joy, and passion, and excitement, and fucking woo! That's who you are. Self-expression at the grandest high vibrational expression. That's who you really are. You're not this fucking dainty person behind a computer hiding, or this dainty person hiding behind their phone, scrolling endlessly, numbing the fuck out, not being in the present moment. That's not you. Nah, that's not you. Fucking get rid of that shit. What do you want to fucking do? Go sing, go dance, go journal, go write, go play. Go fucking jump and do cartwheels, scream at the top of your lungs, and fucking jump off a fucking mountain into a waterfall. I don't give a fuck. Live your life before you actually die and it's over. Like, what I think about is like when I'm fucking 110 years old and I can't run as fast as I can now, and I can't jump, and I can't climb, and I can't fucking sing and dance and do all the things I want to do now. I'm gonna be like, fuck, dude, I'm so glad I did that shit when I could, and I didn't fucking mope around and fucking sit at a job I fucking hate, and then when I got off work, I fucking go sit on the couch and fucking doom scroll while the TV is just running in the background, fucking doing nothing with my life. That will not be me. I'm gonna go do the things I want to do, and I'm gonna use the energy that I have to help other people wake the fuck up and create a life worth living. That's what I want to fucking do. I want to leave a mark on others people's lives through my expression of love and excitement and passion and joy. That's what I want to fucking do. What do you want to do? How do you want to help your community? How do you want to help other people? How do you want to fucking be a contributing aspect to the world around you? How do you want to change the world? Because it starts with changing yourself. The more you step into your authentic truth and wake the fuck up and start living your life authentically without fucking giving a shit what anyone else thinks of you, the more you're fucking living at your highest state, the more you're going to wake everyone else up around them, because they're going to be like, damn, I want to live like that. I want to live that high. I want to step into my shit. I want to go after my fucking dreams and my goals and my passions. And guess what? The more we fucking do that, it's a ripple effect, and people just start waking the fuck up and start going after what they want and doing what they fucking want. And then we got a bunch of woke ass people, like actually awake. Like I don't say woke like woke culture bullshit. I mean consciously aware of who the fuck they really are and the abilities that we have, not only as ourselves, but as a people, coming together, unified, living together, co-creating and building a world and a life that is loving and giving and compassionate and open and caring and assisting. And we're constantly, like, imagine if you walked around every day like looking for ways to help other people. Oh man, let me get the door for that person. Oh, let me help them walk across the street. Oh, hey, you got any issues? You got anything going on that I can help you with? You need help moving? You need help getting in this or doing that? Like, what if we walked around constantly in a state of like, okay, how can I serve today? How can I get in the state of serving? Fuck, dude. If all of us were just in a state of serving, imagine going into our romantic relationships, not what what can I get from the other person? What can I get from this relationship? How can I serve in this relationship? How can I step up to be the best person I can be to serve this other person? Wow. Imagine going into a relationship with the mindset of service instead of going into a relationship like, how much can I fucking nut? How much can I fucking take advantage of this person? How much money can I get out of them? How much free shit can I get out of them? Imagine if we went into it like, how can I contribute to this person's life? How can I lift them up? How can I elevate this person? How can I love them so pure and so raw that it elevates all the fucking love within them and expands them out even more? Imagine that. Imagine what that would be like. Imagine if we did that to all of our friends too, and all of our family and all of our loved ones and all of our favorite people in the world. We all just started serving. And what if your service was just living authentically? Fuck. Oh God, I love life. Okay, so that's the end of that rant. Fucking bodybuilding and spirituality and all the other viewpoints that I have on life. I hope you fucking enjoyed that. I hope you resonate with it. If you're fucking here for this long, I don't even know how long this video was, but I fucking thank you for sticking around, you know, as I fucking go off on my tangents of love and light and service and contribution and passion and excitement and just blissed out lovingness. Yes. Thanks for sticking around. Share this with anybody who you think would maybe have a laugh or resonate with it. Or could maybe learn something from it, you know? Share it. Get it out there. Let people see. This is me just trying to show up as authentic as authentically as I can. This is it. This is what I got. Fucking tank tops on a Saturday night after working a shit ton, getting a bunch of stuff done. And I just want to be more of service right now. How can I be more of a service to you? How can I help you? Put it in the comments. Like, how can I help you? What are your questions? Are there any questions you have about bodybuilding? Any questions you have about spirituality? Are there any questions you have about personal development or just expansion as a human being? Do you have any questions about fucking romance, about whatever? I don't care. Ask me anything. I'll fucking help in any way that I can, because that's who I want to be. I just want to be in service to you. That's my deal. That's my spiel. All right? I love you. Like I said, send this video out. To anyone you think would resonate with it, like, subscribe, and share. All those things are greatly appreciated. Again, I will continue with these videos as much, just because I get a lot out of them too. It's not just, you know, I get a lot out of you don't realize how much energy you get out of showing up authentically. You don't realize how much energy and like high vibrational energy you get when you show up authentically and lovingly. Fuck. You don't need coffee. You don't need caffeine. I swear to God, dude, it is euphoric. These videos fill me so much. And I ain't even making money off of them. I'm not even making money off them. I'm just making videos because this is my artistic expression. This is my self-expression right now. So I thank you for fucking taking it in and writing and playing with me and listening to my rants and listening to my fucking energy and resonating with me. All right, again, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you can, you know, make some sense with my craziness. I love you. Have a phenomenal rest of the day. And until next time, peace.